What is going on, guys? So today I wanted to do a updated review on the extremely popular, well-known household name game Grand Theft Auto 5. Um this game, just the longevity that this game has been able to display has been amazing. Like I said before, I've done reviews not necessarily on this game, but I've spoken about this game in passing and mentioned it a few times. This game has been out since 2013 and it's just lasted, you know what I mean, so far as a modern day game. Modern day games have people have short attention spans. So the modern day games have short lives, you know what I mean? People play a game for 1 year and then it's on to the next. You got so many titles like NBA 2K and things like that, WWE. These games they come and then they go. The Call of Duties. You got some Call of Duties that people tend to like a little more and favor a bit more. But nonetheless, they come out with them every year, a couple years, something like that. And it's just people's attention spans are just short. You know, with when Fortnite hit the scene, everybody sort of took notes and started wanting to do and jump on the battle royale sort of bandwagon, but just attention spans are short. So a new game come out, new one come out, new one come out. And actually, I think I'm mistaken. I think there was one before Fortnite. I want to say H1Z1 was before Fortnite, if I'm not mistaken. And I could be mixing that up. But we're just noticing how a lot of games was kind of on that bandwagon, on that battle royale bandwagon, and just people attention spans are so short, and how these games just really have short lives. You know what I mean? GTA 5 was just not that game. When GTA 3 hit back in, what was it, 2001 or something like that? When GTA 3 hit, it kind of created that genre of games where it's that open sandbox, free roam, open world sort of vibe. I remember when Saints Row hit the scene, and it was just like this over the top version of GTA that was so enjoyable and just didn't take itself seriously, but at the same time, it was the same blueprint. You get a person, you put them in a city, uh, give them a car, give them a home, give them missions throughout the city. You could customize the car to a degree or your home, have a cache of weapons, um, have a few contacts. But yeah, GTA 5 did so many things right. I should have wrote down some notes and took notes and things like that, but we're just gonna wing it today. Open world concept, free roam, purchase a home, large cache of weapons. We got all that down pat. Customizing cars. They went a lot more. They went a lot more in depth with the customization for vehicles. I remember when it was first introduced on San Andreas. When it was first introduced on San Andreas, there was only a few options. You could tint the windows, add spoilers and things like that. You were able to update some of the trim, of course, paint the car, paint the interior, the rims and everything. I think you even changed the tire size, or could be mistaken, and the hydraulics. You can add a bass boost, but I never noticed the difference when you added the bass boost on San Andreas. It always sounded the same. Um, but just the customization from that point, and that laid the blueprint for 5. That laid the blueprint for everybody loved that, and they responded well to that. You look at 4 and how really it didn't let you do anything. 4 was pretty much popular for its ragdoll physics and just how the game felt and reacted, and just the weight system and all that, and just the way the game felt. That's what really brought popularity to that, along with just the Rockstar name. But yeah, 5 just did so many things right. It said letting you customize vehicles, letting you now purchase homes and mansion size homes, and customize the homes, add wall saves and add bar area and add spa area, and have a cleaning person to come and clean, and have a 10 car garage located off of an elevator that's attached to your unit, being able to have a penthouse at a casino. And it's just, they did so many things right. The environment itself seemed real lively. It doesn't seem like, when you play certain games and you can, oh, excuse me, when you can sometimes feel engaged the construction of the game. You play certain games and you're like, okay, I see this is a, I see this is supposed to be buildings. Like, this what this graphic is supposed to be, and it just looks like a cheesy version of it, and it doesn't necessarily feel like a building. It just looked like that's what it's supposed to represent. You're driving in a city and you can tell the cars aren't really going anywhere. The people aren't really going. But on GTA 5, it honestly feels like these cars are traveling and actually going somewhere. Even though if you were to follow them and you see, okay, you're not. You're driving in circles. What are you doing? But it at least feels like it has that presentation of that, at least. You see the people walking around, just the vast amount of conversations that you could run into. I always thought that was hilarious. Just the conversation that you would hear people have, things that you would just kind of stumble upon. I was driving in my car and heard somebody having a crazy conversation or something like that. Like, somebody mentioned something about a threesome. She asked me, did I want a threesome? And I'm just like, what? I had to pull the car over and get out so I can figure out who's having this conversation so that I can get in on it. It's just hilarious. I mean, um, the cab service, which has been the same pretty much, but just how allowing you to skip certain missions in story mode. Uh, sorry, yawning. Um, just showing the animation of you riding in the backseat of the car, you being able to look at your phone and handle a few things. Of course, this is all offline. This is more so story mode, animations and things like that. Um, but yeah, able to be in the back of the taxi cab and be on your phone and handle a few things from your phone, or go online. The story mode itself, man, just the direction that they went with it, having three protagonists with Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, and just their personalities and how they all were completely different, but it made for a fun, intriguing, and um, well thought out storyline, well thought out plot. And this game was just amazing. The actors that they hired for this and how it just changed their lives, completely. These guys had no idea. They knew that it was GTA and GTA was pretty popular. But after 4, you really didn't know what to expect, because 4 was kind of okay. 4 didn't have nearly as much success as this did. If 4 did, and these guys were told, hey, you're going to be voice acting for some GTA characters, they may have had more of a, oh, wow, this is going to be crazy. Yeah, I'm in. These guys had no idea of the cultural impact and footprint that this game is going to leave. the amount of success and the money it generated for the franchise, for the developers, for these guys who played this part, these guys will be forever known as Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. Like Steve, I think it's Stephen Ogg as Trevor. You're Trevor. Like I know you want to continue your career and be other things, but you're Trevor. You know, and that's just how it is. You know, it was just an awesome performance. The voice acting was excellent. These guys really dug into their roles. Michael being the ex-con, you know, sort of the mastermind kind of guy, um, hitting different, you know, jobs and gigs in his younger years and looking to retire and hang up that old hat and continue a new life. It was yeah, that was pretty cool. With Franklin being like an ex game banger and you know into the little gang life, into the street life, he want to do something different or want to do something bigger that's going to generate more income for him than just a little nickel and dime he's been doing this whole time. And Trevor, from what I remember, is like an ex. Uh, he's either a Marine or he's former Air Force. Um, very well very well knowledgeable in a lot of different trades and can handle himself really well with a weapon. Seems real knowledgeable about a lot of things, but at the same time psychotic. But knows how to run a drug enterprise and a weapons enterprise, um, and eventually a smuggling enterprise. From what I remember, um, being a former team member of Mike DeSanta, and having the thought process that Mike had died, and finally realizing that he hasn't, and just his dynamic and his relationship with the family, his relationship with Mike, and everything was just done beautifully. Nothing seemed abrupt, nothing seemed out of place, nothing seemed out of the norm. Everything seemed to fit perfectly with that storyline. Back to the online, you know, just with the DLCs that they released, and just it was just such a vast amount of them, and just giving you endless hours of gameplay. And one of the biggest ones that they released was the one where you have the drug enterprise and the nightclubs. It was just that was a that was amazing. Making the drug enterprise one was something that I was actually begging for and was like, they should do this. Why isn't this being done? I think to the extent and how they were doing it was a little off, but well done nonetheless. I think with the drug, with the drug enterprise and that particular DLC, they added in a thing where, because most of the features that they added were dependent on public sessions. And that could be fun if everybody could enjoy the features that the game offers, but that doesn't happen. Nobody really enjoys the features, and it's pretty much just I see you, I shoot you. 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 I'm repeating this over and over because that's literally what happens. I see you, I shoot you. I see you, I shoot you. And don't get me wrong, that could be fun for like the first 5-10 minutes, but that gets old really quick. That gets old. I've logged on. It was like, all right, I'm finna just see somebody and shoot them. See somebody and shoot them. And it just got old really quick. And all the features that they were making and creating for the game, you never get to enjoy because no matter what the feature is, it all comes back down to I see you, I shoot you. They had like a lot of different modes, like adversary mode and deathmatch and team deathmatch and all these different things. And it was just still just a fancy way of saying, I see you, I shoot you. It was the same thing. And that was the part that was kind of annoying. Because, like, no matter how you dressed it up, it all boiled back down to that. If you're in a public session doing a smuggler's run, it's going to boil down to I see you, I shoot you. If you're in a public session doing a illegal goods run, it's going to boil down to I see you, I shoot you. If you're in a public session and you're trying to do casino missions or something like that, it's going to boil down to I see you, I shoot you. If you got a nightclub and you're trying to manage it, run some of your illegal goods out of there and build money in a much simpler fashion, it's gonna still boil down to I see you, I shoot you. It was that's it. And that's the part that I thought was kind of frustrating because I was a lot of features that I really wanted to dig in and enjoy, and I just simply couldn't. Because if I saw somebody, I had to shoot them, and if I didn't shoot them, they were going to shoot me. And that was pretty much the mode. And then you switch modes, and it's the same thing. The only ones that were kind of different was racing. If you did like a non-contact, I like doing non-contact because if you either you got it or you don't. Um, because I feel like even the lamest person could like kind of bump somebody's car, make you spin and go awry and take the lead and take advantage. Um, and you didn't really got to have much skill to do that. Just get lucky. But I feel like in a no contact, you actually can showcase driving skills. Like if you can't drive, you don't win. No one's throwing you off. If you just suck at turning and, simple basic stuff, you lose. So just get better. I used to like doing that. I used to like the contact missions, the contact races as well, because it a little more aggressive and a little more competitive, and it's just like right when you think you got the W, somebody come and kind of bump you, or you can bump them and take their spot, like because that has its advantages. But I used to run non-contact, and it used to be hilarious because guys would see you winning, and instead of them just being better, they would they would still try and hit you, and it was hilarious just seeing their car just go through your car and they crash and fall off the side of the map or some crap. That was hilarious because guys hate to just be outclassed. So that was hilarious. Um but yeah, that was one of my biggest complaints with GTA was the fact that you really couldn't enjoy the game. You know what I mean? For a little while, I think it got a little better over time. People was just like I think they got bored with it, and it's mainly just the little kids that still do it. They'll get on there and they're like that's literally how they sound, and they're just running around with what was it? What was it? The oppressor, running around with oppressors or fighter jets, and just I see you, I shoot you. That whole deal. So I think it was mainly just the little kids. So you get into a session with people that are a bit of age, it kind of changes up a little bit. You still get a guy that'll throw a few bullets your way, but I don't mind that. Like that's cool. I can deal with that. It's just the guys that I don't know, it's just them little kids, man. They just be all over the place. GTA 5 did well with a lot of things. Online, I hated how you didn't have a voice. I thought that was stupid. Give me a voice. You know what I mean? Set a few voice templates. I understand that setting up some voice templates and trying to set up things that way would be a little difficult, but give me a voice template. You know what I mean? This whole the whole time he just the whole time he's never saying anything. You've started, had no car, no house, no money, maybe $500 that Lamar gave you, and now you have a whole empire and a bunker and hangers, you're smuggling. You're bringing in illegal goods. You got a little drug enterprise. You got a nightclub. You have a mansion. You have a penthouse inside a casino, and you haven't said one audible word. Can we talk? And I get it, if you got one of these things hooked up, you can talk and his mouth moves. That doesn't count. That is not how that works. You speaking to the microphone, that's not how that works. What is he even saying? But no, real talk, they do a good job at the mouth animations. Oh, sorry about that. Open the microphone. They do a pretty good job with the mouth animations on GTA, to where they're not just saying the same word over and over again. I know what game was that? Somebody was doing a review on like one of the Sonic games. I think it was Sonic '06, and that was this guy that was standing outside of the city or something like that. He was standing at the outskirts of the city or something, and when you came into the city, he welcomed you. But the whole time, like, he's moving and talking like this, or he's just I can't even do it, yo. Hold on. So the dude was like, hold on. He was just like, it was like, I keep turning this thing. Bro was like, I can't even do it, bro. Oh, I can't even do it. But he was doing that for like 5 minutes though. Like he was just doing over it, just talking, doing a little mouth motion. But mouth was like, guess what he said? Welcome. I never realized welcome was so difficult to say. It does not take all that to say welcome. Hand gestures, and his mouth was steady going, what are you saying? Pop? You're saying pop over and over again. You're saying pop. I'm sorry, let me get on with the review. So, oh, that's hilarious. So, back to GTA. So the mouth animations are nice, but we'd appreciate a voice. Um, One thing that Saints Row did that I thought was really cool is when you purchase clothing items, you can customize it. So instead of you spending, because GTA did the same thing, kinda, but it wasn't allowing you to customize it. It was just you would get one shirt and then it'll have like 8 different colors for the same shirt. And so you would just purchase that same shirt over and over again in different colors, which is a realistic way of doing it. But the way Saints Row did it was you could buy a white t-shirt and then you can customize the color and you just buy that again. You buy that duplicate but with that, with that new color. You could also like add logos and stuff like that. So it wasn't necessarily you were just sitting there going through different brands and brands and brands of clothes like you do in GTA. You would get a certain type of clothing, a certain type of jacket or shirt. You had the option to customize it. You had the option to change the material, and you had the option to add different logos. And I thought that was freaking slick. Like that was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. Having and adding that to the game was to Saints Row was that was pretty fun, and things like that I'll come back to a game over and over and over for. You know what I mean? Um, and you was able to customize everything from glasses to hats, hoodies, shoes, pants, shirt. I think even belts, jewelry. Like you could customize everything, and like I used to fake it till I made it on Saints Row because on GTA with jewelry, if you buy like a gold or platinum chain or something like that, it's gonna run you like 40 grand on and up, depending on what you get. And so I used to just fake it. I get like a little lame little bronze or copper chain, customize the color and make it like a bright yellow to where it look gold, but it was cheap. Faked it till I made it. And just like stuff like that just goes a long way, and it just shows you like the creativity that the game allows you and welcomes you to have. And I'm always up for that. I'm always up for games that allow you to do so. um the driving and the cars on GTA are pretty nice. They have a very vast selection of vehicles. The pricing sometimes is just kind of weird. um the pricing is just weird because you'll get a car that has it's just a name. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't have any cool features. It goes like 5 miles per hour, but it just so happen to be like 5 million bucks. And it's just like, you got the collectionist kind of guys that just like they want every item in GTA. They want to just own every item, and and that way their life is complete. So that type of stuff will be great for them. They can grind, do missions, and run drugs and all that, and you know, spend 5 million for a shopping cart of a car. I didn't like though. Sometimes the pricing was just a little out there. But one thing I do like that GTA did was they made Cash king. Cash is king in GTA 5, and I love that. Because before, in just about every GTA, cash meant nothing. The items that you were free to buy with the cash were kind of like, who cares? On San Andreas, I constantly had to put in the little code. It was I think I remember the code. R1, R2, L1, L2, left down, right up, left down, right up. I used to be able to punch that in like 2 seconds, maybe 2 seconds. And it would give you $250,000 cash, which was plenty in the game. Because what did you honestly need it for? You can get pretty much any weapon, any set of amount of ammo that you needed, food, clothes. You didn't buy cars, you just customized ones you stole. So there was really no reason for cash on there. I used to go to the, what was it, the little bar, like the pool, and shoot pool, and I would bet, a high amount of money on pool games and win those. And up my money sometimes to try to make it a little more realistic and not just punch in a 250 grand code. But yeah, GTA 5, they actually made Cash King, and the way you get it, it was guys that was performing money glitches and things like that. But I know Rockstar was cracking down on a few of those guys. I know there's so many mods out there now that it really doesn't really matter anymore. But at one point, it was rough, man. It was so many patches that GTA had to keep up with guys figuring out the system, and having the ability to come up with money glitches. I found a glitch where you go into like a gun store. You would shoot the clerk. You would go like outside of the store, and then you would hear. Sorry about that. You would hear like this. I don't know why I have this up. Like this electrical sound, like like a little zapping sound, and then you would run back in the store towards the cash registers, and that would be like $1,000 there. and then you will grab that, go back outside the store. You will hear the little sound, come back in, rinse and repeat. And I was able to make a few grand in short amount of time that way, but still stupid. But like I said, they made Cash King on GTA 5, and I was definitely glad that they had did that. Um, do I want to do another part? Because this video is like 30 minutes already. Do I want to do a part two? I could. I could. Because this is a phenomenal game. So I might do a part two. I appreciate everybody rocking with me so far in this video. Sorry if I was a little drowsy and I'm yawning quite a bit. And I just don't feel like editing. So it's just this is just the way it's coming out. I could just upload it as a podcast. But I don't know. I might. We could. We should. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I will see you guys later. I will drop all the podcast links in the description below. You can catch us on Google Podcasts, on Anchor, Breaker. You can catch us on Radio Public. You can catch us on Pocket Cast, Spotify. We're everywhere. We're getting there. Regal 30 Podcast. Peace.